Uh-oh, you got a dog over there too, huh?
Yeah, look just like yours. What kind is yours?
This was a Maltese poor.
Okay, I gotta have
Poor something.
these.
This was a Maltese poor.
Okay, I gotta have these. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. People that catch it on the playback.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy JT. If I say I done it, I did it. And you watching HankinTv. I got my man, actor, host, Arthur, producer, director, um, in the new 2K game, Vincent M. Ward.
What up, though, Jim City?
Okay, yeah, this is a native of Dayton, man. That's what I try to been focusing on lately. I've been grabbing people from the Gym City, man, that's successful, that's in the industry and that's doing positive things. If you can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
All right. Like you said, I'm Vincent M. Ward, actor, originally from Dayton, Ohio. Went to Trotwood Madison, the best high school in Dayton. Most people know me from The Walking Dead, but you can now catch me on the new season of House of Vicious on BT. NBA 2K, the new one, 23, Sight, Everybody Hates Chris, Traffic, Ocean's 11, so on and so on.
Okay, that's why I want to ask you. Since 2K23 dropping, was it dropping some places today or dropped tomorrow? Who is your character on there?
I actually play a father on there. And it's kind of
Okay,
weird because it's like my son is an entrepreneur, but I'm going off on him because he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, and I didn't even know they did that in these type of games.
yeah, they got the storyline that go. Yeah. Okay, so when you went to Trotwood, man, did you play any sports? How did
Basketball, man. That's what I
basketball?
used to. I used to be known for playing ball and dancing, and sometimes dancing while I played ball. I used to be in a rap group with Daryl Easley. I was with East Town Posse. I was with the Slam Syndicate, and we used to open up shows for Public Enemy, Special Ed, Salt and Pepper, all of that, man. That's what I was really and truly known for coming out of the city is dancing and balling.
Okay, so how did you get into acting?
Got fired from GM
Yeah, just
in
waiting on your kid.
Vandalia.
Okay, yeah,
Got
GM was
fired.
big around here. My
Yeah,
mom had retired from GM. She passed. I said I know she turned in her grave when she said it tore it down and stuff.
yeah, man. I went from GM to working at Champ Sports at the Salem Mall. I was the Black Al Bundy. And what happened was that's how I ended up getting to Columbus because they wanted to train me to be an assistant manager, but I had to go to Columbus. And when I got there, I became the number one salesman in the district. And one day, the general manager came to talk to me. Said, he heard great things about me. How far I want to take it in the company, and I told him I'd like to have a position like yours. 2 weeks later, this man fired me.
What?
Yeah, he fired me. And my manager told me, Vince, whatever you said to the general manager, that's why I had to let you go. But everything happens for a reason, man. While I was being depressed from being fired from GM and Champs, I went and saw my very first play, and I fell in love with acting that day. And I had never acted before,
So
so I
can
was
you?
in Columbus at a little theater called Living the Dream Theater.
So acting pretty much came natural to you.
Yeah, man, I think I've always had like the entertainment blood in me because of opening up big rap concerts and and playing ball in front of thousands of people. So I've always been like quote unquote in that limelight. But but acting is and entertaining is definitely a different beast.
So your introduction to acting, you started off. So it was your first role was in a play.
It was in a play. And I let people know if you can do a play, you can do anything for the simple fact it's only action. There's no cut. So once you
Right.
hit that stage, you better come with your A game, or people gonna know that you messed up.
Right.
You know.
So we're gonna get the history and stuff. I'm gonna kind of jump around and stuff. Um, so far as I see, you also wrote a book and you produced a movie.
Yeah, man. I wrote a book called The Stepdaddy. It was actually based off the old school movies of Stepfather. And when I started writing the script, they felt like my script, was too expensive. So we ended up rewriting a whole different script when we did the movie. So, but my thing was, it's like I wrote all this stuff. What I'm gonna do with it? So I'm
Right.
like, I'm gonna turn it into a book. So I'm not.
So
I'm like, I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a writer. So I wasn't gonna waste the stuff that I wrote, and I actually like the stuff that I wrote better than the stuff that's in the movie.
so is it independent?
Yeah, it's an indie film. Don't know when the heck it's coming out because the people behind the scenes. So we'll see.
Okay, so that's why I wanted to ask you. So down here in Dayton, Ohio, man, I've been seeing it's a few independent films coming out and a few independent directors and producers. So what do you think about the independent film scene in Dayton?
Well, if you're gonna do it, make sure you do it right. Just don't be doing it just to be doing it. And you got to think bigger than just putting it on DVD. You got to think about putting it on the streaming and stuff. I think, and this is not me poo-pooing on anybody. You know what I mean? I'm just saying from some of the stuff that I've seen, you can tell people kind of rushed, and not just in Dayton, but some people, it just seemed like they rushed to be able to say, I put a movie out.
Right,
But if you put a movie out and you have a premiere and you got to apologize because the sound wasn't right or the lighting wasn't right, then maybe you shouldn't have had that premiere. Take
right,
your time. Don't rush into just be wanting to be seen. It's not about that because you can be seen, but people will talk about you afterwards because it looked like crap.
right,
Take your time and make sure it's right before go, showing everybody.
right. So I've seen on the IMDb, you had like over 100
You
credits.
said it right. You said it right. Most people say it wrong. IMDb, yeah.
Yeah, I just graduated from film school myself, so
Oh, but there it is.
I'm kind of
Here it
familiar
is.
with it. Yeah. So, what was your first movie role?
It was Traffic with Michael Douglas, shot in Columbus. No, in Cincinnati. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
yeah,
That was the first big one. That was the first major. I did do an independent film called damn, I forgot the name of it, by a guy named John Whaley out of Columbus, and that was my first film. But when I did that first play, I started doing more and more plays. But my first big one was with Michael Douglas in the movie Traffic.
okay, so coming from Dayton, Ohio, then going to Columbus, starring in a play. How did you finally break into the movie industry?
I
What
just
was your
auditioned. I auditioned, man. Um, what's funny is that first play that I went to go see. I was so I was so excited about meeting the actors afterwards. It was this little small theater, about 15, 20 seats or whatnot. I was so excited, at seeing, after watching that play. I went to the actors and them, and I was just like, oh, it was great, whatever, whatever. And it was a play company. So they was like, well, you should come audition. I was like, really? What's an audition? I didn't even know what an audition was, man. It's like an interview. I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. So that's how I got into it, man. By just going in there and being myself. Because my first character, it was called Mr. Lover Man. So it wasn't really hard to
right,
to play that character at that time for me. So I think the thing that scared me the most is memorizing lines. Because it's like with those first plays that I did, most of them was like a 3-man play or 5-man play. So you have to be like this. You got to know the people's. lines before yours, after yours, all types of stuff. So I was proud of myself to be able to memorize that stuff.
So did you like do it from here in Ohio? Did you move or you send in
Well,
resumes?
once I did the movie Traffic, I told my parents, I said, I'm out of here. It's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm moving to LA. So I ended up moving back to Dayton, saving my money. I worked at, I forgot the name of the factory, used to be by the airport. Emory? I think it was Emory. Ended up working at Emory and saving my money. And I came on out here, man. But the thing about it is, remember I told you GM fired me, but I kept fighting it. I kept fighting it because I felt like they fired me for no reason. And when it was time for me to move out here, they cut me a check for $10,000. So what we might think is a negative might be a positive to push you into what you really and truly should be doing in life. Because about 3 years after that, everybody lost their job at GM.
Right,
After I started acting, Champs tried to give me my job back, and I told him no. I found something that I love to do,
right.
and that's how it happened.
So I've been following you, and I'm gonna tell you a thing. The Walking Dead. I had never watched The Walking Dead,
Me neither.
and when I was in prison, Walking Dead came in on Sunday nights. Sunday nights was the same night the Kardashians came on. So I got into a lot of fights about that TV. So it was just recently here when I probably about a couple years ago where I started watching The Walking Dead, man. And so I finally said, man, let me sit down and see what this Walking Dead is about.
hmm
So when I started watching, it was already on the 10th season, so I binge watched it, man. I could not stop watching it, man. Well, how did you land that role? That was and that's ironic because you played a prisoner on escape prisoner on there, and I said when I was watching it, it caused a lot of friction in the prison about the TV.
I actually didn't escape though. I didn't escape. What they actually came into the prison,
Okay,
and we didn't know that the world had ended.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And the safest spot at that time was the prison.
That was a nice spot.
Yeah. I just auditioned, man, and once I got to part, I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of it. I didn't know anything about the graphic novels or anything like that. Anything. I don't put one thing above the other.
Right.
I just give 100% on any and everything that I do. I don't care if it's an independent film, student film, whatever it is. I'm gonna give my best because if a person is asking you to be in something or believe that you can portray that character, then you need to be on time. You need to have your stuff together. You need to come in with no attitudes. Can't come in, oh, I'm Vincent Ward from The Walking Dead. None of that. And that's actually why I was in Ohio this past week because I was filming an independent film called The Demons Within. And of course, everybody talked about The Walking Dead while I was on set, but I'm like, I'm here for Demons Within. The Walking Dead was back then. It's not about what I'm doing now or how I can help somebody go to that next level in life or in their career as well.
Right, because I don't think people, you know how it is. I don't think people thought it was gonna be as big as it was. Because, like I said, it took me some years to even get into it.
hmm
You kind of so a lot of films I see they kind of like horror based. So you like horror genre,
Well, I think since The Walking Dead, a lot of people ask me to be in horror stuff. I like horror. I've always had a passion and love for that genre. But hey man, I just want to work. It don't matter what it is, you know.
right? So what you working on now?
Like I said, I just got done doing that Demons Within. Um, just I'm auditioning for a couple of things. What else? What I got going on? I got a. That's pretty much it that I can think of. I think of something. I know it's some more stuff out there,
Right,
but just trying to I'm trying to create my own stuff, man. I did the Stepdaddy. I got another one coming out called Devereaux. It's like the new age Candyman, and then they end up bringing Candyman back. But the crazy thing about it is, the guy who played Candyman, Tony Todd, is actually playing my father in my movie called Devereaux.
Okay, so which over 100 movie credits and acting credits, what's have been your most memorable one?
Besides The Walking Dead, um, I like Knight Rider. Remember the old school movie, old school Knight Rider. I like when they remade it, even though it didn't last long. I like that. I like this new thing that I'm on, House of Vicious, even though we shot that thing 2 years ago.
Right.
And it's just now coming out. And it wasn't originally supposed to be on BT. It was supposed to be on some network called Urban Flix. So, I just like to work, man. My bad. It don't matter what it is. It's because this whole thing, it's a grind, dog. It's a grind, you know. You don't know what's gonna happen, or when your next job is, or whatever. And people think just because you're on TV or whatever, they think you're rich and all this other stuff, or don't think you go through stuff. Man, you go through stuff all the time. You might go through even more, because the whole mental, psychological part of this industry, the emotional part, for the simple fact, I think social media or the internet can affect people, because if you
Definitely
ain't
does.
mentally, if you ain't grounded, you start comparing your life to somebody else's life that you see, and you be like, why not? Why I ain't getting it? Why he get it? You be starting hating and start being jealous. But you always have to keep in mind, as long as you being good to people and you working hard, eventually your time will come. For me, yeah, it might be over 100 things on IMDb, but I still ain't where I want to be, but I ain't where I used to be.
Right.
My whole goal is to be able to put my grandkids, leave a legacy for them, you know, make sure my parents is okay. Uh, just be a positive role model, when people ask a question. I wish I had a me when I first broke into this industry. Somebody that don't mind asking questions or answering questions if somebody has, some concerns or whatnot.
Right. Because I really appreciate it, because you reached out to me, and I know that was kind of shocking. I appreciate
Saw
that,
you
man.
from Dayton.
I
Saw you
appreciate
from
that.
Dayton. The only way that we can grow if we help each other. You know what I mean? That's the only way to grow. But then it's just like, in the same breath, support is not just you liking my picture. Support is pushing, reaching out, you know, telling people about such and such. Because I see people from Dayton, man, and it used to bother me, and it still bothers me. I ain't gonna lie. That I hoop with, kicked it with, talked to here and there. Some females we might have hung out with, but these people will post and be like, "Go check out this movie, such and such," right? You don't know nobody in that movie,
Right.
but somebody from Dayton doing something, you don't even post it. You don't say, "Hey, go check out such and such movie." You know what I mean? But you tell somebody to go check out this person's movie, and you don't know nobody in it. But then
Right.
when you want something, or you want your kid to come, oh, my kid is breaking into acting, then you want to, come to me. I remember when they had the tornadoes in Dayton, and I was doing this movie called Mirror Mirror. And I made sure that the producers and all of them brought the movie to Dayton to have a premiere. And my whole thing is, look, I told them it's going to be packed. It's going to be jam packed. We were giving some of the proceeds to people in need, for the tornado. Man, it's probably about 15 people in there. I was so embarrassed, so embarrassed. But that following week, Dave Chappelle had a free concert downtown. Everybody and their mama in line to go see that. But y'all can't go ask Dave Chappelle for nothing.
Right.
People are waiting an hour line, spend $200-300 for Frankie Beverly and Mays and drive to Cincinnati. But you can't ask Frankie Beverly and Mays nothing. But you got somebody that we grew up with, that you're supposed to be cool with, but you don't support them like you want to or supposed to. And and I don't want to call I don't want to say people hating, but in the same breath, you kind of hate. And I'm more humble now than I have ever been in my entire life. So it ain't about the acting. It's about the friendship. It's about, man, let's grow together. How can we do this? Don't judge me because of, you think I'm gonna be some kind of different person or act different because I've been on TV a few times. I'm not famous. The shows that I was on was famous. I ain't getting the Will Smith contracts and Chris Tucker contracts yet. I'm still Vincent from Trotwood, Eddie and Virginia Ward's son. Ain't nothing changed with me. If you have a problem, then you're not happy with yourself or your own life.
Right. I'll see and say the same thing, man, and that's why I kind of like I reach out. You know what I'm saying? I not reach out, but I look for support from other places because I wrote a book, man. And like I said, man, I did
Mm-hmm.
10 years in prison. I've been homeless. I've been in the streets, and then for me to transition my life and write a book, and then the people closest to me who know what I've been through, it seemed like they was supported me, you know. And it was a definitely a wake up call. And I put a post on Instagram and Facebook one day, and I say and they gave everybody a chance. So when I leave
Mm-hmm.
you left on red, don't get mad, you
Yeah.
know. And,
Dude, I was promoting a free movie on Tubi. On Tubi. You think anybody talked about it? And it was an awesome movie. It's called Social Disturbance. It's like a new age fatal attraction. And you think any of those knuckleheads posted it or reposted it? And the problem is when you start asking for money, like your book, I'm sure you charging for your book. Man, you can't get $5 out of some people, man. $5. But they'll go pay 500 for Frankie Beverly and Mays.
right,
Or to go see Joe Burrow and them Bengals or them Pittsburgh Steelers
right.
and spend gas and a hotel and
Right,
food. They can't give you $5 for your book.
right.
You know what I mean?
I try to support everybody, and that's coming from a small town like this, man. That's what we need. We need more support and stuff like that from within. But in order to make it or get bigger, you got to step outside of the box. Like you went to Cali, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to venture out and stuff like that. So
You
what
have
what
to.
so what advice would you have to people that's wanting to get into acting?
The day uh, to never give up, because the day you decide to give up may be the day that God decided to bless you. And the reason why I say that is because when I first started doing voiceovers, I got I was getting like down on myself because I wasn't booking any of them. You know what I mean? I was going to all these auditions and wasn't getting nothing. And then I had to drive far to go to the audition. This particular day, God is my witness. I said, I'm done with this. I'm in the audition, waiting for them to call me in. And I'm just emailing my agent at that time. I'm emailing, telling them I don't want to do it no more. Because you got to drive all the way there, then you got to wait another hour for them to call you in and go in the booth. So I'm emailing them, letting them know I'm done. I didn't finish the email because they called me in. It's like, Vince, it's your turn. I go in, I turn my phone off. I go in, I do the audition. I come out, turn my phone off. I got a miss voicemail. I got a voicemail. I got a missed call. It's my agent, the same one I was just emailing. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even push send. I said, let me see what's going on. Big dog, I turned that phone on. I called them. You know what they said to me? Congratulations, you booked your first voicemail. Voiceover. And guess what who the voiceover was for? Donnie McClurkin, Gospel Gold. I said, all right, Lord, I hear you. It's on your time. It ain't on my time. And what's the odds of that? You know what I mean? I mean, and to this day, I still get frustrated on stuff, man. I feel like I've gone on like 60, 70 auditions this last year and a half, and ain't booked nothing.
Right.
But it happens.
So is there any shows or movies that you're determined to get in? Like you got a goal set to get in, you like to be a part of, your
My
dream
goal
role?
is my goal is to get my own stuff out. My goal is my goal is I ain't got to worry about getting killed off. You make your own. You know. All right, man. That's my wife. She leaving.
Hi.
My goal is to get my own projects out, so I ain't got to worry about getting killed off. My goal is to be able to put myself in the position to be able to come back to Dayton, if they like it or not, and be able to do like celebrity basketball games, celebrity softball games, games, book bag giveaways. You know, my talent. One thing I learned in church: your talent is not for you. Your talent is for other people. And I'm just trying to lead by example, man. That's it. Ain't no funny style with me.
Right.
No funny style at all. I believe in we can agree to disagree, but we can still be respectful and we can still work together. But that's just me.
Have to get back. So they building a filming studio downtown on I think Springfield Street. So I think
Really?
that might open up some opportunities for dating in the surrounding areas and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the matter of fact, they building it was an old factory. I can't remember which factory it is out there, but it's on Springfield Street.
Oh, okay. It's probably Chrysler or GM, one of them.
Okay. So your show that you got on BET, tell people when it's airing and what days it come on.
It come on Wednesdays. I think it come on. You got to look. It's either 8 or 9 in Ohio, but it's called House of Vicious, and my character actually comes this Wednesday for the
Okay.
first episode.
So for your book,
We're on the fourth episode, but my character is just now coming.
so for your book that you have in how can people order that? How can people get it?
You can go to my website. It's my name, Vincent M. Ward, or better yet, just go to Amazon Kindle or Amazon, and it's easier to get it from there.
Right. And where else can people reach you at?
Social media, man, Vincent M. Ward, everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. MySpace, Black Planet.
Okay, so I know I said you've been doing a lot of auditions lately. Do you have any of your own personal projects coming up soon?
Well, I'm trying to get my one project out called Conventioning. You know, one thing you never see is a black travel host. So I mean, Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace, but that's my dream job right there. To be able to travel the world, to speak to people, eat up all their food, drink up all their drinks, and get paid. You hear me?
Right,
Come on, that's the best job in the world to have
right.
because you're gonna get the top of the line of everything.
I seen some clips that a while back. Was that like some personal you was doing yourself, or was that for a company or something?
No, that's something for me. That's something personal that I'm doing that I'm trying to pitch to somebody. Because I mean, I'd rather host than anything, man. That's what I want to do. Host.
Host. Okay. Man, it was good tapping in with you, man. I like to see
Yes,
you
sir.
doing good, man. You're an inspiration to the city, man. You definitely dropped some jewels. And like I said, man, I appreciate you for reaching out. I know you're busy. So
My pleasure, big dog. Anytime, man.
you already know. So one more time, tell everybody where they can reach you at. They want
Hey,
to reach out to
Vincent,
you.
Vincent M. Ward, VincentMWard on all social media or VincentMWard.com.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, man.
No problem, bro. Take care and thank you.
Okay, you too, man.
Later.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That was the actor, host, and author Vincent M. Ward from Dayton, Ohio. He played in the Walking Dead. He in the 2K23 video game that come out tomorrow. He got a role in that. I just wanted to get him on here, man, to drop some jewels and kind of inspire some people from the city and people in general about how to break into acting, getting in plays, commercials, or whatever. Um, I got some interesting interviews about to come up. I reached out to this guy from my hood, man. I cannot even remember his name. I reached out to Curtis Cook. Curtis Cook, he also from Dayton, Ohio. He got a role. He play on the Shy. So hopefully he hit me back. I can get him on here. So I got him coming up. I got a few other people. Man, hit me up for your merch, Hankin, the Hankin t-shirt. You can supply the man and consistently turn a profit. Hit me up for a copy of my book, Hankin in Love of the Game. And if you got anything you want to get promoted, any businesses or brands, hit me up. I'm doing free promotions right now. So you better hit me up because it's free right now, man. I've been hitting people up on all social media platforms until I'm doing free promotion. Ain't nobody hit me. So I'm telling you, when things turn up, don't start hitting me dead because I'm gonna leave you on red or you ain't gonna like my prices, man. And see, that's what the problem is now, man. People don't want to support, man. We got to work together. But to tell you the truth, I really ain't mad because I'm gonna keep chasing it. I'm gonna get mine. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. And I'm gonna catch y'all next time on HankinTv.